Hello, everyone. It's Sunday afternoon once again, my favorite time of the week. And as always, because it's Ask the Drummer Day every Sunday. And hope you all had an awesome week this week, because I certainly did. I went to see Mick Head twice in Scotland, so that was absolutely amazing. It's now just 2 minutes. It's still 2 minutes before 2 o'clock, but I thought we'd start early because our guest is ready now anyway. So I still have to do my introduction. Yeah, so I saw Mick Head, so I'm feeling very, very happy and also feeling very energized as well. So I'm looking forward to this week's episode of Ask the Drummer. Today's drummer guest had said I saw him and his band in February this year, and it wasn't planned. I'm gonna tell him this. It wasn't planned, but I'm really glad that I went to see them, and they're fairly new. I think they were formed in 2018, and Alan McGee described them, and this one I quote Alan McGee: "It's the best band out of Ireland since My Bloody Valentine." So that sounds absolutely amazing. Anyways, I asked him after the gig if he'll be interested to guest on Ask the Drummer, and I'm really glad he said yes, and he's here now. So, my dear friends, please welcome Damian Greaney. Yay!
Hello.
Hello, Damian. Did,
How you
did I
doing?
pronounce your name right? Damian Greaney.
Grainy, yeah, close enough.
Greaney. Yeah. How are
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you keeping?
I'm fine. It was in February this year, early this year, when I saw the Clockworks live in Manchester.
Yeah,
I must admit, I was there to see Pincher, Jack Rainbow of Pincher, and I wanted to say, first of all, I wanted to say massive shout out to Jack Rainbow. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have known about the Clockworks, because
yeah,
yeah, because he was on Ask the Drummer a few months ago as well. So, hello, Jack. Thank you so much for asking me to see your band, and then I got to see the Clockworks as well. So, how are you? How have you been since that gig in February?
yeah. I've been busy. Yeah, been good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's, I could see from social media that you've actually been touring and playing all over the world
yeah, yeah.
to promote the album.
Yeah, exactly. So that you would have seen us in the first leg of the album tour. So we still did like pretty much all of Europe after that then. So and then
Yeah,
we've been doing a lot of festivals this summer too. So been busy.
yeah,
Covered a lot of
and
ground.
yeah, and right now you're on like a 5 week break,
Yeah,
which is
I'm
good.
from a break from gigging anyway. Yeah, we've been doing a bit of recording and stuff, but a break from the gigs. Yeah, from
Yeah,
traveling.
yeah. Well, anyways, welcome to Ask the Drummer. Episode 142 is all about you, Damon Greaney. So you live in London now. You're in London at the moment, but you're originally from Galway, right?
Yeah, no, I'm from Galway. Yeah, I'm in London right now uh,
Yeah,
at this moment, and but yeah, proud Galway man.
yeah. What's Galway like when you were growing up?
Galway is lovely. Yeah, it was a great place to be. 18 to 23 or whatever year I moved out. I mean, like I'm from the county of Galway, but I lived in the city of Galway for about 4 years, 5 years, and that was amazing. The town I'm from as well was a nice place to grow up too. To be fair, it was,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, like not a huge amount to do, but you make your own fun when you're young, don't you?
Yeah, I normally look for the most famous musicians or band from the place where the drummer is from.
Yeah,
I look at Galway. The one that sort of like rings a bell is the Saw Doctors. Are they
yeah,
like the most famous uh, band to come out of Galway, or are there any other sort of like famous musicians from there?
yeah. Geez, it's. I looked that up actually not too long ago myself. I was looking up like just famous people in general that came from Galway, and there's a surprising few amount of them. I would have thought there'd be more, but there's definitely a few, and sawdusters are they have to be up there.
Yeah, yeah. Is it? Would you say that it's a musical city, Galway? Like like say Manchester or London or Glasgow.
Like, yeah, I would. It's a very artsy city. There's a few people in Galway and a few like venues in Galway that kind of really um, support and like they nourish young music and new music and stuff. Like especially say the Roisin Dove is the venue in Galway, and
Yeah,
without them, I mean, we would have had nowhere to play really. Um, they really push bands who are just starting out, and so it is a good place to be a young band. Um, but at the same time, it's kind of weird because somewhere like Manchester and London, like you mentioned, and even Dublin, I think they have kind of like cliques and they have a bit more of a like of a scene for
the
themselves.
scene. Yeah, yeah,
Whereas in Galway, it's just kind of everyone's kind of doing their own thing, getting on with it, which I think actually is not necessarily a bad thing because I think you're not like you're not tethered to one kind of scene or one kind of sound because
yeah, yeah,
that's the cool thing to do. You're just doing whatever you like because it's just a great place to be creative and just kind of do
yeah,
what you want.
yeah. Are you from a musical family?
Um, well, yeah, I am. No, I definitely am. My immediate family, kind of, some of my siblings played a bit of music and stuff growing up, but nothing major. But then my extended family, I have, granduncles and stuff who were very successful traditional Irish musicians. A lot of my cousins like still play music and stuff. So definitely my extended family is like very musical when you go to my cousins and my uncles and kind of out further. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Any drummer from your family?
I think my cousin played for a while in a band. Did anybody else play drums? Not that I know of.
Yeah.
I don't think
So,
so. No.
well, what got you into drums though? Or have you always been into drums, or did you try learning other instruments before settling into drums?
I tried learning guitar once, but I didn't like that I hurt my fingers. Um, I was young,
Okay.
um, and I think what I now know to be the action, just from I still don't know anything about guitars, but it was probably just like it's just too big of a guitar for me at the time, maybe, or just I was young and my attention span just wasn't there. It was just whatever it was. I just didn't take that as quickly. I'm trying to learn a bit now, actually, just kind of to keep myself entertained. But in terms of drums, I never really had an interest until just how I started playing music was Sean, who's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guitarist.
The
He just
guitarist. Yeah.
we were friends in secondary school since we were 12, and he just texted me and he's like, "Hey, me and James are gonna play some music in my shed. Do you want to come?" And for a second, I was like, "Did he text the wrong person or what?" Because like I don't play anything. But he's just like, "Oh, just come out and we'll have a bit of fun, a bit of crack." And so that's what I did, and I went. And he used to play drums in a metal band, like a heavy metal band.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like 14-year-old heavy metal musicians, and they were unbelievable actually. Like looking back on it now, thinking how young they were, it's crazy. They were playing gigs all around Ireland then, um, and so sometimes he'd bring his drums into school and stuff for like he'd be
Okay.
doing music exams and things, and I'd always kind of watch him doing it and think, oh, that's cool, but never with a view to really do it,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
I just never thought of it. And then he just texted me. I was like, "Do you want to just come out and mess around?" And that's what we did. And then messing around slowly turned into being in a band for 10 years together.
Well, what made them switch to guitar? If he was already playing drums in a metal band.
What made Sean switch?
Sure. Yeah.
I
Did he
don't
not
know.
enjoy playing drums?
Maybe it was his ego. Who knows? No. I don't know. Um, No, I don't think it was that. I think I don't know. He always loved the challenge. I knew that. Um, yeah, I guess he was just more interested in it at the time.
And
I
then
don't
did
think we
he just?
knew.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, just you know, like I said, it kind of started as a bit of fun, and so everybody just kind of fell into their roles, and I kind of fell into playing drums because I mean I definitely couldn't play guitar, whereas Sean could
Okay.
kind of play guitar.
Yeah.
So we just kind of filled the spaces that needed to be filled, and then figured it out from there.
And did you have some like proper drumming lessons, or were you just self-taught?
No, I mean Sean like showed me a lot, and then
Okay.
I just a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of just playing along to songs. I never paid for a lesson. I never had
Okay.
a paid for lesson. But Sean showed me the basics and things, and kind of just sent me on my way from there.
Okay. Is it very much like? Do you know the film Sing Street?
Yeah,
Is it very much like that? It's all like friends staying
yeah,
together.
yeah. We already have a biopic about it. Sooner.
Because I really loved that film. It was all like thinking, is it so like the story of all these Irish bands, they get together, they're high school or school friends, and then
I think it's a story of a lot of bands, right? Like you're just young and you're bored, and you just kind of you just do it because it's fun, and then it becomes
yeah.
something more.
So the Clockworks was your first band, and only band, or were you in any other band before that?
No, I mean we had different names, but it was always the same. It was always me, Sean, and James, and then we used to play with. There was two other bass players before Tom. They were both just from our town as well. And
Okay.
then when we moved to Galway City, that's when we met Tom, and been him since. He was the
Where
last
did
piece of the puzzle.
the name come from? Who chose the Clockworks?
Um, yeah, it's kind of a weird, silly misunderstanding, really. We were practicing in Sean's shed, as I mentioned before, and we had a name already, but we realized it was. Uh, am I allowed to curse?
Pardon?
Do you want? Am I okay to curse, or
Oh yeah, of
is it
course. Yeah,
like
of course.
I'll try not to, but it'll probably slip out. So
You can,
I
yeah,
wanted
you
to
can
ask
say
before we
whatever.
continue. Um, but yeah, anyway, we had a name and it was fucking shit, and so we were like, oh, we need to change it. But Facebook had this thing where once you go over 300 followers or whatever, you're not allowed to change your name. And luckily, we were on 298. So we were like, but we have to like change it quick because who knows when those next two are coming. It probably took months for the next two to come, but we didn't know that
Oh,
at the time. Uh, but yeah, we were just kind of we knew well we didn't know, but we kind of felt like we wanted one of the like the names, like the somethings,
yeah,
because
yeah,
we love like the Strokes and the Smiths and the
yeah,
Streets, and
yeah. That's
we just
yeah,
thought it
yeah,
was cool.
yeah.
So we kind of looking along those lines, and we were like everyone was given their ideas, and none of them were very good. And then there was this old like grandfather clock in Sean's place, um, and James always thought it was broken. Like anytime we practiced there, which was a lot, he like thought it was broken, and he just as he was looking around trying to think of something, he happened to look at the grandfather clock and say, "Oh, the clock works." You know, he was just noticing that it actually worked,
Oh, I
but
see.
we all thought it was a suggestion, and then we actually liked the sound of it, so that
Oh,
was it.
yeah, that's brilliant. The clock works. So it's two words. The clock works, and then you just
Yeah, and
turn
then we
into
made it one word. Just
yeah.
he said it
Well,
as two, we heard it as one. So
yeah, yeah. Well, Aiden said that sound and vision clear, which is good. Aiden is now tech support, so that's very good. So there's four of you, and you were living in Galway at the time when you were practicing. Because now I don't know if this is true or just publicity, but apparently Sean wrote a message to Alan McGee via Instagram,
Yeah,
saying that you're like the punk equivalent or the punk version of the Streets. Is that
yeah.
right? It
That was our little like catchy pitch, our little elevator pitch.
yeah.
And Sean's got balls. You know, he'll message anyone, anything. So he just pulled the trigger and he sent it. And yeah,
And then after Alan McGee got the message, and then he flew to Galway, or he went to see you in Galway.
he didn't have to fly to Galway because we then went to London
Oh, I
and
see. Okay,
he came to see us
right.
play in a. We didn't have a gig booked or anything. We just went and he came to see us in the rehearsal room.
Yeah, yeah.
We splashed out on the bigger rehearsal room. I mean, it's still pretty tiny, but we paid a bit extra to the to Mill Hill rehearsal
Okay,
rooms
yeah.
to just to give them a space to sit down, I suppose. And yeah, that was we played like a pretty much a full set for him. I think we only got like 3 songs on, and he was like, yeah, uh,
And
yeah,
yeah.
that's I'll sign you or whatever. You know, he had kind of he told us after that he had his mind made up anyway. He just wanted to make sure we weren't like arseholes or anything.
Because again, according to this article, Alan McGee said that it's the best rehearsal he'd seen since Oasis, and then he signed you right then and there. He sort of like said that's it before he left. He signed the
Yeah,
Clockworks to Creation 23.
yeah. I mean, he said he would have flown to Galway if we didn't go to London. So, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah,
matter. He didn't have to.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. No, it was what a compliment to get. You know, amazing. It's cool.
and I mean, Alan McGee Oasis. What do you think of the Oasis reunion? I just have to ask you this.
Well, I have my tickets, so
Oh, you're going ticket? No, I was gonna
yeah.
say, with your Alan McGee connections, do you think there's
No.
a chance of the Clockwork supporting Oasis?
Uh, I mean, I think there's a long list of people who will want to do
They
that,
will want to.
and I
Yeah.
think we're probably very low down that list, no matter what
Right.
connections we have. Um,
Yeah.
no, obviously we wouldn't turn it down, but
Yeah. Yeah.
apparently,
Never.
somebody tweeted that there's rumors that we are. Uh, I'd love to know who their source is because I need to talk to them.
Oh, well, you never know. They haven't announced any support yet, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
exactly.
It's not until
Could
next
be
year.
anyone.
Yeah, it could be anyone. So you were the band formed in 2018, but when did you move from Galway to London? Because it's like the four of you actually deciding, okay, we're gonna move. It must be like it's a very big decision to do, isn't it?
Um, yeah, well, like I said, I mean, it was 2018 was kind of, I guess, the first year we were like, okay, let's do this. You know, we had played for, like I was saying, we played for a few years before that,
Yeah, yeah,
together. But yeah, I guess 2018 was the first year we were like, all right, let's really try, you know. And the first thing we did is we wanted to sell out the Roisin Dove that I mentioned as well in Galway. They have an upstairs room which is like a 90 capacity and a downstairs room which is like 280 or something. Um, and so we're like, we set ourselves a plan. We're like, we'll sell out the upstairs, sell out the downstairs, and then I guess decide what the next move is then. But I mean, we pretty much decided that we needed to move somewhere, just in terms of like industry and opportunities and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of between Dublin and London,
in
and
London. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and so it just kind of seemed like the better choice at the time. You know, in the moment, it kind of seemed like the right one. And then, like you said, we came and McGee was in our rehearsal room with us within about a
yeah.
week. So that was
But
it.
do you
Definitely,
mind?
and we were in the right place.
Do you mind me asking how old were all of you back then? Because you're still very young, right? And
Well, How
Did,
you
did
wait?
you
How do
know
you?
anyone from London, or did you just look for your own place?
Yeah. So Tom's father was here. He lives here.
Oh, okay.
So that was a big help. James has some like extended family that lives here too.
Oh,
So we
yeah,
did have a
yeah,
lot of people that really helped us out. You know, we were lucky. Um, we weren't completely just. I mean, we
yeah,
in many ways we were just kind of coming and seeing what would happen. Um, but yeah, we definitely had some help along the way, which we were all very grateful for. Yeah.
yeah. So it wasn't like, again, going back to Sing Street, like Cosmo going on a dinghy, and then just going going to
Not, not,
London.
no, not quite.
It
We
wasn't like that, though.
it wasn't far off. I think it was a Ryanair flight, so it wasn't far off. But
So, okay. Um, but you must have like a plan, because in 20 when you all move, because that's like, all four of you. And did you have jobs?
no,
Uh,
no, we had to figure all that
no.
out when we got here. You know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. There was a plan. The plan was just to kind of do what we were doing in Galway, but in London for a while, and hope it reaps the rewards that it did in Galway, but on a bigger scale.
Yeah. I
Uh,
just find it, yeah, amazing that,
yeah.
take that opportunity, go to London, because it's not cheap. London, living in London, is it?
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. And I think that was just the plan, though. Just kind of just just try it, just go, and we were a bit at a loss of what to do in Galway, so it kind of didn't seem like as big of a deal as other people have said it seems like it is. It kind of just seemed like the right move at the time.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
just kind of like this makes sense. You know, so we just did
yeah,
it. We just went for it and crossed our fingers. And I mean,
yeah,
like just put the same amount of work in that we were putting in before in terms of writing and recording and releasing and gigging and practicing, and which we were doing a lot of in Galway. So just like keep doing that, but just in London, and
yeah,
hoping that yeah, the results will come.
yeah. But then something happened, like globally, when COVID hit in 2020, like early 2020. That must have been really so like hard for all four of you, because you couldn't go to gigs. You couldn't, so like it's like a year and a half of nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I mean, it was definitely hard for so many people for many reasons. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I, I, I consider myself so lucky that like nothing that horrible happened to anyone who was very close to me, you know, because of COVID. So
Yeah, yeah,
I, I don't think it's, I don't look back and say, oh, what an awful time, just because I couldn't go to gigs or play gigs. There was so much worse that happened. So
yeah.
I
Of course,
think,
yeah,
I'd never think that I was put out by that. But I moved back to Ireland then for like while during lockdown and stuff. Like I was back in Ireland for all that time, so it was nicer to be at home during that time than kind of
almost, yeah,
stuck in a
yeah,
city where everything just felt a lot. I mean, London feels lonely anyway. It can do, like it's a beautiful place and it's amazing, but it
yeah,
can feel lonely at the best times. So I was glad that I went home during that time,
yeah, yeah,
definitely. But yeah, we again we just kind of, as before, it was just had to talk about it. We're like, okay, well, we obviously can't gig and stuff now, so what can we do? and that's when we just took a lot of time to like write new songs and write songs that we probably wouldn't have written if we didn't kind of take that break from gigging, because I mean we kind of got into this mindset of writing songs and having them songs that were written for a live performance, I guess, which is it's a very kind of it's one way of looking at it, the writing
Yeah,
process, which
yeah,
it's never good to kind of close yourself off to anything when you're like writing a song. So I think it was we made the most of not touring and not gigging and stuff by just like writing, and that was
yeah,
it. Yeah, there was some songs came out of that that definitely wouldn't have otherwise.
yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, it seems like a long time ago now, but the COVID years it made people realize that how much we just take things for granted. I mean, now I think I hope so. I mean, I value every single thing now because it could be taken away again. And so yeah. So
100%, yeah.
around this time, was there ever sort of like a moment where you think, okay, this is it? We don't, because we really didn't know what's going to happen, whether it's going to stay or not. So
Mm.
was there a moment that you said that you thought that we're not going to continue? We'll just
No,
no.
no, no there was never a moment for us that we thought we just give up, because like I said, we were keeping busy in other ways. I mean, we released some songs,
Yeah.
during that time. At the time, we were all living together, so we were able to go and rehearse, and because all the rules were that like you're only allowed to do things as a household, so we
Yeah.
were still allowed to go to a rehearsal room legally, all the four of us together, because we lived together anyway. So
Yeah.
that was never, luckily again for us, that was never a conversation. I saw, I felt like every other week during lockdown there was bands coming out saying they just had to call it a day, which that was sad to see. A lot of bands who like put years and years into it, just kind
Yeah.
of having to just yeah disband. And
It just
but
yeah.
yeah, no, we were lucky. We never had to. We never considered that at the time. But,
Yeah. Are you still in the with Alan McGee's Creation 23?
no, so he's gotten rid of that label, I believe. I
Okay,
think he
all
has.
right.
He's started another one since called I think it's Creation Baby. But yeah, they're not quite doing the same kind of thing that they used to be. We
Yeah,
still talk to McGee, like Sean still talks to him every now and again. I think he just met him there maybe
yeah.
a week or two ago. Met him in person. So like it all ended very amicably and stuff.
And yeah, yeah. You're still in
Just
touch with them and
yeah.
yeah,
But not no, we're not on his label anymore. You see, that it used to be like a singles label, so they'd release singles, and we kind of went to him asking like, would he release an album? And
mm,
kind of at the same time that we asked him that, he was kind of thinking of just getting rid of the singles label anyway. So he said no, and which is completely fair. We knew we were kind of
yeah,
announcing
yeah,
it anyway, but we
yeah,
also knew that it was time for us to look at releasing an album. It had been like
yeah,
a long
yeah,
time, and we knew we wanted to do it. So yeah, it just kind of was a timing thing for both of us. Yeah,
yeah. Aiden said that he once saw Alan McGee interviewed in the city in Manchester. I think it was like in the 90s or something, or early 2000. I
no,
actually saw Alan McGee at recently in May at the festival, but I didn't know it was him. Because he looked very different now. So I wasn't. I normally ask for photos and stuff, and then when I saw like, oh, who's that guy? And I said that's Alan McGee. I was like, oh my god, but he was gone. I missed my opportunity, but hopefully there'll be
yeah,
other opportunities next time. But let's talk about your album, Exit Strategy. The
yeah,
title itself, that's really good. But I want to ask you because it was recorded at Abbey Road Studios. I mean, this is like the most famous recording studio in the world.
Yeah,
Um,
so it was actually it was split between two studios.
yeah.
So three songs, the three songs like fully recorded there, and then like a lot of vocals. I think all the vocals were recorded there, but then most of the rest of the music was recorded in Live Electric studio, which is on Hornsey Road in North London. Um,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so just to let you know that it was like it was a half and half thing, but yeah, no, recording Abbey Road was just incredible. Yeah.
So how did that happen? Is it do you know someone? I mean, it's like when I saw it, it's recorded Abbey Road. Did you have your photo taken like the Beatles thing outside the the pedestrian crossing? Did you have your
Oh,
photo?
no, not in the pedestrian crossing. No, it's that was. I mean, it's yeah. There's a long queue to get your photo taken there.
Oh, I see.
Um, so we took one on the steps, which I think is like a legal requirement. If you go
Yeah,
to Abbey Road, you have to take a picture on the steps. So
yeah.
we got that one. We got that photo, to be fair.
So
Um,
how did you manage like get that recording session or go to Abbey Road?
yeah, well, so Abbey Road do um, this kind of program, the name of which escapes me. It'll come back to me, but it's they essentially get like a band and a producer and who've never worked together, and they put them together for a day, and you kind of record a song, and whatever happens, happens. It might be a disaster, it might be great. Um,
Oh, I see.
so yeah, so they actually asked us to do one like a couple of years ago. Just that they Mark, who works there, found our music, and he kind of has a heavy hand in running this kind of show for Abbey Road, and
Yeah.
so he found our music, he loved it, and he was just like he really wanted to get us in, and so we did one of them,
Yeah.
and he asked us like who would you like to work with, and one of the names that came up was Bernard Butler, and we were like, yeah, that would be amazing. And then we kind of had a bit of a little conversation between ourselves, and we're like, if this ends up being really good, we could ask him to do the rest of the album and do it that way. So the song we actually recorded as part of the Abbey Road program was Mayday Mayday, and so that was like the song that was like done in a day, and it was kind of we went in there, and I mean we didn't know what to expect, and he completely tore the song apart. We went in with, hey, here's the song, and he was just like,
Yeah.
I want to hear you all play it together. So we got in the room and played it, and he was like, oh, that sounds really good, and we were like, okay, cool. And then he was like, I just have a few suggestions, and he was like, get rid of that, get rid of this, and but
Yeah.
by the end of it, we were James was just playing it on an acoustic guitar, singing it, and I was like clapping with my hands, and he was kind of like, yeah, that's good.
That's
And we're like, okay. We just got rid of everything else, but all right. And then he kind of built it back up and brought a lot of the elements back in, but we got to see how he kind of works, and um, I think he definitely challenged us, um, and in the best way. I think you need to be challenged to like come out with something
yeah.
creative,
Yeah.
because it shouldn't always be like the first idea. It should be the best idea, and when you have somebody who kind of will fight you on an idea, who if you think no, I think this part sounds a lot better, and somebody's willing to challenge you on that, it makes you realize how much you actually care about that part. If you really fight back and it's like, no, I need to keep this,
Yeah.
it will probably end up being better for the song. But if you just kind of back down, you didn't need it. So that was great. And then yeah, off the back of that, then we just asked Bernard if he'd be interested in doing the rest of the album with us, and he said yes, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were given a list of names, and so it was the band who chose Bernard Butler to
Yeah, I mean, like
collaborate.
we made our own list of names, and then we were given a list of names, and yeah, it ended up being Bernard. It was kind of, I mean, I don't actually know if anybody read our list of names, but I'm glad we ended up with Bernard. Our
Yeah,
list of names was just like, our list of names was crazy, like, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. 'Cause,
Oh, I don't know if you heard
I'm
that. There's just massive
no.
thunder there. Okay, never mind. Um, yeah, no, so it was brilliant working with him, and like I said, the album wouldn't be what it is without him. You know, he definitely had a strong influence on it, and definitely
Yeah,
pushed us to kind of
yeah.
pushed us to the point that anything I listen to now, I'm like, I love that, you know, because I fought for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'm always so like fascinated with the way like the producer comes in, because how involved are you in, so like do you just sort of like come up with the okay, this is the music, this is the album, and then the producer will tweak it and then he'll do his own, or is it more or less a collaboration that you say this, oh no, we prefer it like this, and then the producer will say no, it's better like this.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a bit of that. And when you agree to work with a producer and you're paying a producer to work with you, um, it doesn't make sense not to listen to them, you know, because you're like,
Yeah,
why, you know,
okay.
why are they there if you're not going to listen to what they suggest? I mean, you know, Bernard has decades of experience writing music, like writing hits, and you know, he's extremely successful himself. So
Yeah,
we'd be
yeah.
foolish not to think he knows what he's talking about, you know. But we also back ourselves, you know, and we stand by a lot of what we do too. Um, so it's definitely collaboration, and it's kind of a 4v1 in a way. It's kind of us four against him. But then even like within the four of us, we will have, before bringing the song to the producer, we would have had our own kind of writing process of like, no, I think it should be this, and I think it should be that, and
Yeah,
finding that
yeah.
the song is there, and then you bring in a fifth to kind of, I guess, mess with all that again.
And
Um,
it's not always the case of the producer, that's what you do because I'm the producer. We should do it like this.
I mean, it can
You,
be, but like if that's what it was, we would have just not worked with him. You
well,
know,
what we
yeah, and like again, he was. I feel like we gave him the space to kind of fight for something that he really believed in, and we would, if you really really felt it,
yeah,
we'd back down. You know, because again, if you agree to work with a producer, I think you should. You know, because otherwise, like, what's the point? Like,
yeah,
you need to
yeah.
give up. You might need to give up a bit of your own control over your own project, but like that's what creating music is. It's all what everybody brings to it. It's not like if I was left with all that album to do myself, it would sound completely different if Sean was left, or James, or Tom. If any of us individually were like, hey, here's the basic songs, now like finish it off yourself.
Yeah,
They'd be
yeah,
they'd be four completely different sounding albums. But
yeah.
what what exit strategy is the five of us coming together to make what it is now, and
And
that's,
agreeing,
you have
yeah,
to appreciate that for what it is, you know. And I
yeah.
really do.
Yeah, because sometimes you hear of sort of like a band or an artist releasing an album, and then you get critics saying that it's overproduced
Yeah,
or something. Yeah, there's always that thing that maybe if it's left to the band and have just the original thing, it would have been a lot better than you know.
yeah. I mean, sometimes I think overproduced can mean though it's like there's too many like bells and whistles, and like at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is make a great song, or like, you know, 10 great songs or whatever the album is like. But anytime you're making a song, it's like do what's best for the song, and sometimes I think when things are overproduced, you're just kind of layering loads of stuff on until it's just kind of it's so much that it's nothing kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas there's some
Exit,
songs out there that's just a voice and a piano, and it's incredible.
yeah. Well, exit strategy. From most of the reviews I've read online, they all said that it's like a film score. It's like a soundtrack because
Yeah,
there's two sides of it. So they, if you're if you've got I've got a CD. I didn't get the vinyl. I got this one, which
yeah, don't,
I've got to say that colored Sharpies not always very good. I only prefer black ones because they they bleed. You the
yeah,
like this yellow Sharpie just bleeds. But anyways, so if it's on a vinyl, the side A is the Galway side,
yes,
and then side B is the London side, and
hmm
because Galway is where the band is from, and then London is where you are now, where you're living now. So are these songs mainly your experiences, or I mean James's, because James is the main songwriter, right?
yeah. So James is the lyricist. He writes all of the lyrics. It you know it is and it isn't our story. You know, like obviously there are parallels. You know, we and I mean I'm going to be putting words in his mouth, obviously to a certain degree now, but I feel like he he couldn't help but write using his own experiences. You know, that's not to say that every song is a exactly how his life has gone, or you know
Yeah,
exactly insight into like what he's thinking or what he's feeling, or but it's definitely all you know it has to come into his writing. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
it is his story that you know we all like move started in Galway and then moved to London and um, kind of had the experiences of both being like a young band and then kind of becoming a less young band and just even just like even take the music and the band stuff out of it, just being somebody in your 20s. I mean, like it's a tale as old as time. It's people leaving Ireland in their 20s to emigrate and go to. A lot of people go to Canada or Australia, or a lot of
yeah,
people go to London to like find something else, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And yeah, I think it's kind of it asks the question if like, are you going to find it there when you go, you know, or is what you're looking for something deeper and something that you won't
yeah.
find in any one place, but you have to find yourself.
Yeah, but him being the songwriter, so
Mm-hmm.
say you get together, does he show you all the lyrics and then you have to feel those lyrics and or uh, so that you know how
So
to do the drum part for it?
yeah, like it's sometimes it's that, and he'll have like the kind of basic structure. He might have a few verses written in the chorus, but we'll do like a verse chorus kind of thing, uh, and then when we all get in the room together, we kind of mess around with that, and yeah, definitely, we definitely do kind of like you said, we kind of like to make soundtracks to the story that he's telling through his lyrics. We
Yeah,
try to
yeah,
add to the story with the music, and evoke the feeling with the music. Um, so yeah, one way it works is he'll come and we'll all get in and play together. And another thing we might do is just kind of come up with some music beforehand, just from messing around, and then he'll write based off the feeling that that music gets in. So it's kind of like it
yeah, yeah,
works both ways.
yeah, yeah.
He might be inspired by something we do, or vice
Yeah.
versa.
Well, I don't know if you're the right person. Maybe I should ask James, but I do want to ask because there's one particular track. of the album that I really love because it's enough is never enough.
Yeah.
The reason why is because there's a lyrics there that says his grandmother was a proud Filipino, and I'm originally from the Philippines, and, and
Great.
then yeah, so I'm so like, are you or is it was it in because this track is on the Galway side? Is there like
Yeah.
a Filipino community in Galway? Do you know Filipinos? So, or where did this lyrics
Um,
come from?
I mean, Galway's a big student city, so it's a bit of a melting pot of cultures. I mean, it's very Irish in terms of every second place down the main street is a pub. Like you'll fall from one pub into the other, um, almost by design, and so like it feels very Irish, but like there is a lot of different cultures in Galway. Um, yeah, because it's quite a young city, and
Yeah,
like I said, it's a real student city. So a lot of like young people from all over Ireland definitely go there, and I think a lot of people from all over the world would visit there.
yeah,
It's pretty big tourist destination too. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Because I know,
there's a little bit of everything in Galway.
yeah, I know that there's a big Filipino community in London, massive. So, like,
Mm.
there are parts in Houston where it's almost like Little Manila because everywhere you go, there are like Filipino restaurants and everything.
Yeah.
So, but and I think this is a bit cryptic because it started off with this: his grandmother was a proud Filipino, and then it continued. It slips his mind as he dips his vote into the world of a well-known racist who explains it all in words he knows. I'm like, God, what's that? It got me curious. I mean, who's that? Who was it? So,
Yeah. I mean, again, yeah, you really have to ask him, but I don't think that's necessarily a specific person, but more of the kind of thing that is becoming a bit more common. I guess online and stuff. There's a lot of kind of like toxic communities online, and so it's
oh,
easy like for like younger. It seems to be younger men really seem to fall into these traps of listening to people they really shouldn't be listening to just because they every now and again they'll say something like that might inspire a young man to kind of work hard or something, and then everything around that motivation is definitely not the kind of lessons that you want a young men to be taught. So I
yeah,
think it's pointing a finger at that kind of phenomenon that's happening more
yeah.
than talking about one specific person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one particular thing. But I've got to say, because you're in London now, you've got to go to Houston and then try the restaurants there, the Filipino restaurants there. They're absolutely amazing. They do buffets, so you can try every Filipino dish that they've got there. So that's
I'll
one
put it on
thing.
my list.
Well, is that where you are in London?
No, but I'll add it to the list of countless other places I need to try. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I mentioned earlier that you're now in a like a 5 week break, and your next tour is no, your next gig is actually in London at the Garage on
Yeah.
the 8th of November. So
I headline. Yeah, we have a couple of like shows in Europe before that, but
oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah,
the next headline gig is then yeah.
yeah. So when you're not playing drums, when you're not gigging, what keeps you busy? What keeps you sort of like busy? Are you
What keeps you
recording?
busy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like we're always. I mean, we're always trying to write new stuff. Um, we're trying to get some new songs done for that gig in November, just to have something. We don't want to just play the same set we did back in February. So we want to definitely have some new material for that. We're
Yeah,
always
yeah,
just trying to do more, write more, uh, get as much recording in as we can, and kind of try to do demos as well. we're always. I don't think there's been a day in the last, probably in the last 10 years. There's been very few days that I've not talked to one of the four lads. So we're always chatting about doing the next thing, doing something.
Yeah. Are you going to be recording at Abbey Road again? Abbey Road
I
Suite.
mean, hopefully, yeah, yeah. Hopefully, they'll like. I don't know if they have rooms there. There is.
Yeah.
I'll be booking one up to live
Yeah.
in. I mean, not even to record in.
Yeah. Do you get recognized when you go out?
No,
You don't?
no.
Oh.
No.
So,
I mean,
'cause,
like, I don't think we're I don't think we're to recognize the stage, and then also like the drummer never gets recognized anyway. So you know, it's I have a long way to go. I'll put it that way.
well, I'm sure you'll get recognized soon. Or maybe people just
I'd
don't like.
rather, like, I'd take it or leave it. It doesn't seem like the best thing either. I
But how?
appreciate people showing support, but at the same
Yeah.
time.
But how are you when it comes to fans? So like coming up to you and asking for photos, like what I did, and asking for
Oh, like,
signatures. Are
listen,
you okay
like,
with that?
no, of course, yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, like, we're so appreciative of anyone that comes to a gig and dances and sings and has a good time.
Yeah.
So, like, to take a picture of someone is nothing. Like, like, I have no problem. It's still strange to me that people want to take a picture with me. Um, that's just, it's weird. It's like, okay, yeah, no, go ahead. Um, it's also not great because, I mean, I'm happy to do it, but every time I come off stage, I'm like sweating buckets. So it's like, I feel like people only get pictures of me when I look my worst, which is like straight
Oh.
after a gig when I'm all like red in the face and like drenched in sweat. But I don't know. No, honestly though, like, anybody that will come to a gig, anything I can return the favor with, I'm happy to do. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
lovely. It's great.
Oh, that's very good. Well, I've got four more questions, the regular questions that I always ask, because I know it's nearly we've been talking for an hour. So the first one I wanted to ask you is because this I don't think I've seen you do this in Manchester, but do you twirl? Do you do this twirling sticks when you play?
Uh, no, I don't do it when I play. No.
No.
No. I do it. I do it like I do it maybe like when we're sound checking and stuff.
Yeah.
It is actually like it's a useful thing to do though. It's not just like a show offy thing. It's like like you see in the military, people who like throw their rifles in
Yeah.
the air. It's
Yeah.
like the whole
Yeah.
purpose is so like you don't drop it, or like if you do drop it, you'll catch it quick. That's it's like a muscle memory thing. That's what it's building, and I feel like doing that with a stick is giving me the same thing. It's just like don't drop this because
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
know this. But no, yeah, I don't like not do it during a gig. I just don't. I don't remember to. I'm busy thinking about other things or not thinking about anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so it's not like because sometimes when I see the drummers, when there's like a gap that they're not playing, and then they will do the twirl, and then they'll hit it when the bit comes, when the drumming part comes. So
Yeah,
I find it really amazing when they do that. So it's like quiet and
oh
then
yeah, I do it all
twirl
the time.
and then go.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Well, uh, this is so like I know you're an Irish drummer. Uh,
Hmm.
this question is actually for Irish drummers. I have to sort of like say it properly. Is it Boran? Boran? Boran?
Oh, the Baron.
The Boran? Yeah, the Boran. I still can't sort of like say it properly. Do you
Yeah,
play
yeah.
that? Do you know how to play it?
Um, I mean, I can play it. Yeah, like I wouldn't say I've like practiced it a lot. If you have a bit of rhythm, you can do well with it. It's I've seen some people play it though, and like it that are next level, and I'm nowhere near as good as the best. But if you have a bit of rhythm, can do a good job in it, you know.
Yeah. But is that something that a lot of the Irish, so like, well, in an Irish family or an Irish sort of like community, they have that, and then people just, I don't know, it's like they're naturally gifted that they just know how to play it. Is it so? Or
Well,
is
no,
it?
I guess you do need to like practice it. You know, I've been to a few different like traditional Irish kind of sessions where like I've seen people play a few times over the last couple of years, and it's rare enough you'd see somebody with a bar on. Actually, it's becoming a bit scarce. Actually, yeah. I wonder. You only made me think about that now. Maybe
Yeah,
there's a gap in the market. Maybe I should jump in.
yeah, yeah. Or maybe have it, maybe a bar and when you're playing live something, and then try
Yeah,
and do it.
who knows?
Yeah.
Try and incorporate
Well,
it. Yeah.
yeah. Next question is drumming heroes. Do you have any drumming heroes?
Yeah, I definitely do. I'd say my biggest is Matt Tong, who was the original drummer of Block Party.
Oh, okay.
Just like the drums in those first few albums, I kind of, I mean, like they're amazing albums, and like the music throughout is great, and like they're such a good band. But sometimes I'll just listen to them just for the drums because the sound of them as well as the parts are all just so nice to listen to.
Yeah, yeah,
He's up there for me. I kind of like he's quite inspirational in that like he kind it's like they were like processed drum beats, but he was playing them on a real kit or something. It was kind of robotic, but like still it was a person doing it. You could kind of feel both in it or something. There's something that I really liked about him and about his parts. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, yeah. Because you've not, you've not so like had proper drumming lessons. You said.
Yeah,
But is there so like so apart from is it Matt Tong? Is that Matt Tong?
Matt Tong. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, is there someone that you like when you play your drum parts in the Clockworks that you want to sound like this drummer, or is it all
yeah,
just original? You just want it to be you that you create your own sound.
yeah. I mean, definitely the latter. I mean, like I said, he'd probably be quite inspirational in the way he did things. But I mean, I want somebody. Yeah, I'd like to have 100% have my own identity and my own kind of sound, and
Yeah.
you know, like I I probably I'm not a technically good drummer by any means because I've never, like I said, I've never had lessons. I probably have so many bad habits, you know, and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But you know, and I'd always like I'd listen to songs and try and play along with songs, and but not like look up how I wouldn't look up videos and look up how the songs are played because I thought, you know, I think that just made me kind of try and listen out for it, and
Oh, okay.
then I'd figure out what I thought they were doing, and then I'd look up a video, and sometimes I was right and sometimes I was wrong, and it just kind of got me, I guess, being creative about how to play the drums myself, and so I
Yeah.
definitely want to sound like myself, um, and hope that like somebody that listens to our songs goes and says, "Oh, love
Yeah.
what he did,"
Yeah.
you know, and like yeah,
Yeah. And then maybe in a few years' time, if I'm still doing as the drummer, and then somebody will say, "Oh yeah, my drumming hero is Damian Greaney.
yeah.
I've listened to his drumming; it's so original and all."
If that
Yeah.
happens, just call me on the spot and
Yeah.
FaceTime me, and I want to thank that person if they ever say it.
Yeah. Next one is disasters. Have you ever had any drumming disasters, like falling off your stool or drum stool or something?
I've never fell off my stool, luckily. Have I? No, I've not. I've definitely had many, many, many disasters. So yeah, actually, had one very recently where I showed up to a gig and there was a miscommunication. It was a festival and there was a miscommunication somewhere along the way because we were under the impression that there was going to be like cymbals there already because we were flying back from another gig, so I didn't have my own cymbals. So like we thought,
Yeah.
you know, we had got on the stage and like, oh, there'd be cymbals here. Got the stage, and there was
Yeah.
none. So I had to play a gig without cymbals. So that was not ideal. But I like played the rest of the kit, and I used like a drum pad thing that I had to kind of do the best I could in the time I had, and it was definitely interesting. And I mean, like the crowds were amazing. They were like so on our side and stuff, and so that was great. So I guess that wasn't really, you can't really say it was a disaster because in the end it was
It was
really,
it was all right.
everybody
So
was.
yeah, so that drum pad that you were talking, it can create cymbal sounds.
Yeah, so there's lots of kind of sounds preloaded onto it.
Oh,
Um,
okay, all right, yeah,
so I mean, like they sound very much like, you know, I think cymbals
machine.
are the hardest to replicate. You know, you can probably get like a really good snare sound and kick and toms and most things on it, but like, you know, cymbals are the hardest to replicate, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, like it was still it was so fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone was really going for it, so that was good. Other than that, I've, you know, dropped sticks, I've
It's
got foot cramps, I've got like a really bad migraine like halfway through. I've I've been I've been close to get sick, but I've never actually got sick, so that's good. Like yeah, I got like sick in my mouth, but I don't think that counts. If it doesn't come out, it doesn't count.
oh.
Um, that's what I say anyway.
Well, the last one.
But
Oh, yeah, sorry.
nothing severe, no severe disasters, just a few kind of hiccups.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think if you're in because I've seen some photos of the Clockworks playing at big festivals and stuff, where there are loads of bands, playing on the day, and you don't have your own kit with you when you do that. You just sort of like share one
Yeah,
kit or share other people's kit. So is
yeah, like
that
it depends. Oh, sorry, go on.
no is that quite easy for you? How do you sort of like change if it's not your own kit? Is it easy to sort of like adapt it into sort of like your way of playing the drums or the
Yeah,
setup
I
that you
mean,
want?
yeah, it definitely changes. Because I mean, some festivals you are allowed to bring your own kit, and they'll have like a rolling riser, so you can set your drums up behind the stage while another band is playing, and they just literally like wheel it on, and they as they wheel the other drums off. Uh, so sometimes you do, but yeah, other times, well, I mean, sometimes you have to rent a kit if you're like playing like abroad, or sometimes you have to, like you said, there'll just be a kit on the stage, and you just have to use that.
Yeah,
Um, it can be tricky, and sometimes like all the parts that you're used to aren't there, and it's missing like a cymbal stand or something because um, some people like playing with fewer cymbals, some people like playing with more. I'm kind of, I think, because obviously I don't know, maybe it was an Ireland thing, or this is probably common enough. But like when you're starting out and you're playing like kind of smaller venues and stuff, they'll have like a house drum kit, and so they might only have like a minimal amount of stuff. And so I guess I kind of learned to play on like a minimal enough drum kit. So I've always only
yeah,
had the minimum amount of stuff in terms of cymbals and
yeah,
toms and things. So it's not the worst for me because if I had loads of stuff and I had to play with less, I think that'd be harder. But if you show up to gig and you've loads of stuff in front of you, then you can just have a bit of fun, you know, like
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you only need to use what usually use. But if you want to throw in an extra like cowbell, if you have one, you might as well.
Well, the one at Yes, was it your drum kit or was it house kit? The one you
What's
played
that?
on Yes in Manchester. Was that
Oh, that
your
was
own?
mine. Yeah. So
Oh, that was
for
your own kit. Yeah.
yeah for our tour, we were like driving from place to place in a van. So I had my own kit there. So that was good.
Yeah. And then you shared it with Jack
Yeah.
pincha. Yeah, yeah. Are you not too precious with your drum kit? You're okay. It's
No,
not like share with people.
no, I mean like we've all been the support band that the main band won't share their kit, you know, and like to be honest, sometimes I get it because you know if something does happen to it, then like I mean like we did 48 gigs, you know, so if something 48 gigs in like 60 days or it was something nuts anyway, um, and it was like if something did happen to the kit, I don't know what we would have done, you know. So
Yeah.
one thing we did, but this was also more to save time, is we just asked like support bands if they could to bring their own cymbal stands, and then you can just have your cymbals already on your stands, and just you can just
Uh,
take the stands on and off, which actually I think works out a bit quicker. Um, but I mean, like there were times with the support bands like, oh, I won't be able to bring cymbal stands, and I'm like, that's fine, you know. I'm definitely not precious about it. You have to be careful with it, but I mean, like, I've never met I've never met a drummer
drummers
who
is not
is
careful.
reckless with a drum kit. Like, I mean, they're made to be hit. You know, that's the whole point. They're built for it. So
Yeah.
if you're not, if somebody was jumping up on it or something, I'd have a bit of an issue with that. But there was none of that. So I don't really care. You know, as long as as long as you're not trying to break it, you're not going to break it. You know.
Yeah. 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 Oh, that's good. Well, last question though is, what would be your advice for aspiring drummers or musicians in general?
Ooh. Um, I mean, this is completely from my own experience, but I would say play with other people as quick as you can. I mean, find people that you like playing with. Don't just play with others for the sake of it. But I think you learn a lot from playing with others, and you can you can play to yourself in your room for years and years and years, um, and obviously you should do that as well. But because that's how you get good. But I think it's a whole different experience than if you are somebody that wants to kind of be in a band. And I mean, you're always going to play with others in some capacity anyway, I guess, no matter what
Yeah.
kind of a career you want. I think it's another skill you have to learn. And I think it's great to like build chemistry with someone. If you want to be in a band, I'd try find the people and like build a chemistry and make sure you
Yeah.
have the right people. Um, if you want to just kind of be a musician in your own right, then I think the advice would just be like, just always, just keep like taking in things that can inspire you. So it could be like movies or it could be other music, obviously, but then anything, it can be anything. Like just go for a walk and like look around and then go home and just like write and write and write. And like most of it will be shit, like, and you'll never use it, but you'll only get to the good stuff if you get through the bad stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Is being a drummer a good career to get into, like financially, or, or you've got to love it? Then don't think about the money side of it.
uh, the last one. I mean, kind of, I think like being any kind of musician in this day and age is like you make no money until you make loads of money. You know, it's kind of nothing, and then it all comes at once because
Yeah. Yeah.
you know you get like you tend to get like the deal, and then when you get the deal, you get like a song and an ad, and when you get the song and an ad, you get like some brand that wants to like work with you and collaborate with you, and then when you get that, you get something else, and so yeah, it's definitely a lot of nothing until it all breaks, and I'm still in that first round of it. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, like the most important thing is that you love it because it's hard. I mean, like you have to do it because you love it because it's not it's yeah it is hard and there's a lot of kind of like bad stuff that comes like around. I mean, when I'm recording or I'm writing or I'm playing and gigging, I that's I love it. Like that's what I'm doing it for. And then there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff around that though. There's a lot of other stuff around that that makes it really hard. You know, a lot of kind of sacrifices and a lot of yeah, just kind of headaches that kind of pop up along the way. So if
Yeah.
you're not loving it, it's
Yeah,
not for you. I don't
you've
think.
got, yeah, you've got to love it. You've got to love what you're doing. Well, thank you so much, Damien, for giving us your time and for guesting on Ask the Drummer. And London. Oh no, you're gonna be in Europe before the London, but that's your next headline gig is
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
Garage in London on
yeah.
the 8th of November.
Yeah.
So
It'll
yeah,
be it'll be it'll be a good one. So if
yeah. When are
anyone
you coming
there is
back to
watching,
Manchester?
there's nothing in the calendar yet, but we will be coming back definitely.
Hopefully next year. Yeah, when there's the new album to promote. Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Damien. Enjoy the rest of your week, the weekend and Sunday. And big love to the band. And hopefully I'll get to see you and the Clockworks again soon.
Yeah,
And
hopefully.
yeah, thank you so much. All right.
Thanks,
See
Dan.
ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. Thank you, Barry Esmond. I'm glad that you joined us for this episode of Ask Summer. But anyways, yeah, thank you to Damian Greaney of the Clockworks. If you haven't heard of them, I mean, they've been around since 2018, 2019, yeah. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. But if you haven't seen them live, please do go and see them. If you're in London, it's at the Garage on the 8th of November, and they're headlining that gig. So yeah, thank you so much. Next week I'll be back with another amazing drummer. So I hope you'll join me then. But for now, thank you and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, love music, love life, love drummers. They are so cool, and we just really they've got to be recognized when they go out. I know they're always at the back when they're playing, but that's why we want to sort of like make them be seen, and then people will know that they're the drummer. They're the drummer of this band. So yeah, so I'll see you all again next week. So I don't know what else to say. Oh, yeah, for my Filipino New Wavers, my fellow Filipino New Wavers in the Philippines, Ian McNabb is going to be playing in Manila for the first time ever. That's on the 8th of December. So get your tickets. It's going to be awesome. That's all I want to say. All right. Well, see you all again next week. Bye for now. Bye.